Mr. Hubbard, did you happen to notice the words Danny Simpson rules OK spray-painted 15 times on the back wall this morning?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Slat.
Well, I want to know one thing. Who's responsible?
Well, I assumed it was Danny Simpson.
But don't be ridiculous. He's passed 2 exams. He's a high flyer. And we have league tables to consider. Miss Tripley, we are not punishing Danny Simpson while there are still plenty of pupils from single-parent families. We've set up our little joint project.
Yes, it's coming, and if this works, I get to be in charge of school discipline.
We'll see, we'll see.
Yes, yes, did you call?
It's your behaviour report form on Edward Allison, 4th year.
I'm expecting your support on this, Mr. Slat. It's just getting worse and worse.
Yes, under the heading behavioural problems, you have written acne.
Well, it's just ridiculous. His nose has practically disappeared.
But am I to understand you have reprimanded this pupil for his complexion?
Absolutely.
But this is not acceptable. You are aware, surely, that this boy has been designated by his psychiatrist as a serious suicide risk.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Mr. Slat, haven't we all?
Mr. Slat.
Will you two move along, please? There's a place for slouching around looking miserable, and that place is your classroom.
Mr. Slat. I was wondering what this piece of paper meant.
What?
Morning.
Mr. Carkdale, I have received a number of complaints the pupils are picking up bad language in your classes.
Bollocks.
If you could just keep in mind that children are inclined to repeat what they hear.
Twats.
It means what it says.
It doesn't say anything.
By the way, Mr. Slat, you ought to know the first years are feeling a bit mellow today.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Well, not really. They've all been inhaling at the ventilators outside the prefect's common room.
Am I to understand the prefects are smoking illegal substances again?
Well, it seems like it.
How many of them?
My first impression was that the room was on fire.
Dear God, please, not today.
Today?
Well, Mr. Saunders went in to talk to them about 20 minutes ago.
Well, where is he now?
Space.
Okay, fine, perfect. I'll deal with them.
Do all your pupils have some kind of habit?
I'm sorry?
Confiscated these on the way in. But every kid in the playground seems to have a pack.
Eric here was first aid officer for a year.
So?
Yes, thank you, Janet. That will be all.
He was using nicotine patches instead of Band-Aids. Most of the school are now on 20 a day.
I see you're wearing foundation this morning, darling. Something wrong with your razor.
Why do you stay with a guy like that?
Because he's driving himself to a massive heart attack, and I'd hate myself if I missed it.
Do we need quite so many pupils cluttering up the place? They'll be here any minute.
Who will?
Never you mind, Miss Trevis.
Interview panel.
Janet.
He and the head are up for the same new job, so the interview panel's coming here.
Yes, thank you, Janet. Very good. Very discreet. Oh, why must they always look so common? Are you girls wearing makeup?
No.
Well, could you borrow some?
He went for a cardiogram recently.
But?
I framed it.
What are you doing here, anyway?
Mr. Peterson's told us to put up these pictures.
Peterson, pay no attention. His wife ran off with a lesbian.
Can I have a word?
Just don't touch me.
You're getting in a state. Let's have a chat.
I'm fine, just don't touch me.
Eric...
No, claws off me, slut queen!
Please, we're not at home now.
Oh, gentlemen, please come in. Welcome to Galfast High School. Thank you, Janet. That will be all.
Are you aware that one of your downstairs rooms appears to be on fire?
What?
There's smoke everywhere. One of the common rooms.
Oh, no. That's just... Yes, it is, isn't it?
What?
It's on fire. The prefect's common room is burning, absolutely. Sorry for any inconvenience.
For God's sake, man, haven't you phoned the fire brigade?
No. Well, yes. Well, kind of.
Kind of.
We've faxed them.
You faxed the fire brigade?
Well, it's only quite a small fire.
It's, not a fire at all. It's the science department doing an experiment.
Right. I see. Fine.
Yes, well, so long as no one's in any danger.
I can assure you I've got the situation completely under control. Not that there is a situation, but I'm controlling it anyway.
I see. I understand you've set up an interview room for us.
Of course. This office here, I hope it's to your satisfaction.
As I was coming in, I noticed you don't seem to have any ramps here.
Ramps? don't think I know that one. We've got a couple of Chinese kids.
What I'm asking is, have you disabled children at this school?
Well, a couple of times, but it was them or me.
I see. I ought to warn you, disability is a bit of an issue with a third of our party. You'll be along shortly.
Thank you for your assistance.
You get the job. You're out of here. I'm sold.
Ah, Mr. Slat. Have they arrived yet?
Just this minute. Well, two of them.
Well, then, may the better man win.
Thanks. That's very kind of you.
Anything of interest so far this morning?
The prefects are smoking illegal substances again.
I see. Well, I'll head down and handle that, Mr. Slat. Sometimes these drug types just need a good chat. Chatting can be very important for young people, you know.
Look at it. There's what I call a school. A brand new science wing and practically no art department. That's not just education. That's foreplay.
Want to translate this for me?
PT music department. Please take music department. There's a music teacher absent. Please take his class. Is that so difficult?
I'm new here, remember?
You understand what this means? I could be headmaster of this place by next month. I have a 1 in 2 chance of getting out of here forever. I'd have a school of my own. I wouldn't be working with my wife. For half the year, I wouldn't even see her in daylight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, God, I want this job. Please, God, let me have this job.
Are you all right?
I think I'm having a heart attack.
I'll get your wife.
No, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Momentary lapse, that's all.
Mr. Slat.
I believe you have some work to do in the music department, Miss Travis.
Whatever you say.
Yes.
I've been holding for 15 minutes. Well, I'm getting terribly, terribly impatient. I'm just warning you, I get ever so cross. Ah! Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you were a pupil. Yes, I'll keep holding. Let's just hope no one gets stabbed. I am just so cross, I really am. I am cross. You talk to them.
Talk to who?
They won't let him come back to school, and he's still got one of our instruments.
I'm sorry?
One of our musical instruments. They won't let him come back.
One of your pupils?
Yes. Well, you talk to them then. You talk to them and tell them I'm ever so cross and I'm practically stabbing people.
I'm connecting you now.
Oh, is that an American accent?
Hello, Death Row.
Death Row?
Yeah, Death Row. I understand there's some kind of problem.
Ask for Brian Jackson.
Brian Jackson?
We do have a prisoner by that name. How can I help you? I was told there's some kind of emergency.
Just how long has this kid been away?
Look, lady, you just phoned Death Row. Home of the electric chair, the gas chamber, and the lethal injection. This is where we routinely slaughter our fellow man. Please don't tell me you got us all out of bed without a very, very good reason.
Tell him we need our bassoon back.
One of your prisoners has stolen a bassoon.
I'll kill him.
Can't fault them for service.
Oh, poor Brian. He was always such a quiet child.
Right, sure. I'm supposed to be taking a class here. One of your music teachers is off sick.
Oh, I see.
A Mr. Bonza. Which room is it?
Look, why don't you just pop back to the staff room, have a coffee? I'll deal with this.
No, I'll take the class. It's no problem. I like music. Music room 2, right?
No, Susie, please.
You wouldn't have a bit of an attendance problem, would you?
Oh, dear, just look at that. They must have all popped out from him.
Popped out. So, There's normally a class in here, is there?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's them. That's the class list.
Amanda, nobody's used this room in years.
Keep your voice down. Do you want the entire music department closed for good?
Who are these kids?
Well, they're I made them up.
I'm sorry?
Well, no one wants to take music anymore. It's all science these days. And anyway, if you take more than one art subject, Mr. Slat tells the rugby team you're gay.
You made them up?
Well, I couldn't let them close the music department, could I?
Do you actually have any pupils at all?
Brian Jackson.
He's left the school. He's in a different country, and he's about to be executed.
Well, yes, but not in term time.
You just made them up. Clarissa DeVere, Tarquin Moorcock, Gwendolyn Talwinning.
Ever such a nice girl, Gwendolyn. She's going out with Quentin, who's a bit of a rascal, but he's got a heart of gold underneath.
Amanda.
Except, of course, Agatha has set her heart on stealing him away and has tricked him into writing a secret letter to his uncle at the Grange.
Amanda, please. This is not sane. And what about Mr. Bonza? He goes along with this.
We're involved.
Involved?
Engaged. And I don't think the man who loves me, my future husband, my life's partner and soulmate, is likely to give me away, do you?
I suppose not.
And anyway, I made him up too. There was a Robin Bonza who was supposed to be coming to the school, but he never turned up. So I pretended he did.
And naturally, you had to get engaged.
Well, you know how it is. The rumours were bound to start. I spent hours telling everybody about him, and then one day I got overcome and I invited everybody to the wedding.
Except the groom, on account of the fact he doesn't exist.
I'm getting a bit worried about that, actually.
When's the wedding?
Well, it'll have to be quite soon. I'm pregnant.
It's okay. I don't think it's a pupil.
Right. Yes.
Not down here, anyway.
Can I use this cupboard?
For what?
Mr. Humbert. Mr. Humbert, what's happening? I can't hear you.
The interview is about to start. Please re-establish radio contact. You know what I'll do if you fail me now, Humboldt.
Mr. Humbert!
Sorry, Mr. Slap. Momentary hitch. All fixed now.
It had better be. Any mistakes and I'll finish you, Humbert.
What does he mean?
Promise you won't tell him you found me.
Is he blackmailing you?
I presume you have all the appropriate texts to hand.
Yes, no problem. It's just that if there's any questions about education acts or policies or whatever, there's no harm in it.
He's cheating. What an example to set to the children. Gwendolyn, cover your ears.
Are you going to tell him? He'll finish me. He'll get me thrown out.
Yeah, but how?
Are you going to tell him you found me?
It depends what I'm helping to cover up.
Fine. Great. Thank you very much.
Hey, wait! Look, I just don't want to see that bastard get away with it, that's all. He's blackmailing you, right? What about?
My sexuality.
Janet, where's the headmaster?
Still talking to the prefect, I think. It's hard to tell. It's very smoky in there.
But they're still smoking. He's talking to them while they're smoking illegal substances. Is he completely out of his mind?
At the moment he inhales. You on first?
Yes. Listen, Janet. Just this once, I need your assistance. Just this one time, I need you not to undermine my personal confidence. Now, tell me honestly, at this current juncture, am I giving any indication that I'm profoundly, acutely, derangingly terrified?
Only to someone with a sense of smell.
Mr. Slat, we're ready for you now.
Right, yes, fine, thank you. That wasn't me.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't me, you know. Breaking wind. Just my wife making silly noises.
Oh, right, yes.
Wives, eh? Honestly.
Yes, well, quite.
You can't smell anything, can you? I mean, that's the proof. Go on, have a sniff. Not at me specifically. That would look awful if anyone caught us. But the point is, you can't smell anything, right?
Won't you step inside?
Obviously, I'm not saying you can't smell anything at all. I'm sure you've got all your faculties. Oh, my God, you're blind.
Yes, I was rather under that impression.
That's fine. Don't worry. I love blind people. One of my best friends was born blind in an accident. Sorry about that crack about having all your faculties. I was really just talking about my farting. I don't fart a lot or anything. Probably just 9 or 10 times a week. And strictly on my own. Or with my wife.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Slatt. Please sit down.
Of course, right.
Now, what about this interview?
I think I should be all right if I clench a bit and there are no sudden noises.
Your internal gastric arrangements are really not our concern at this moment.
Sorry.
No problem.
Here I am. Big interview, and I can't stop talking about my bottom. And that's not what you came here to see. Not that you could actually see it. But you could feel it if you wanted to. Please, understand, I know you will not give me this job because I let you feel my bottom. Please, God, take me now.
Mr. Slatt, you're obviously extremely nervous. Now, that's quite common at interviews. So why don't you just relax, collect yourself, and we'll just crack on and put all this nonsense firmly behind us. Now, does that sound all right?
Yes. Yes, that sounds great.
Think you're going to be okay?
Yes. Yes, actually. I think I'm going to be perfectly all right.
Oh, do you think so, Sunshine?
Welcome to your worst day.
What's wrong now, Mr. Slatt?
So, not scratching your nose or anything, are you?
Perhaps we could start by covering some of your early career. One or two things we'd like to know about that.
You do it all the time. Such a revolting habit.
Yes, fine. Go ahead.
And then you start sort of picking it. I mean, what's the problem? Is it permanently itchy or something?
As a junior physics teacher, that is right, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
I mean, scratch. You just never stop, do you?
Oh, bit set in his ways, but good man. Nice chap. Liked him.
And then, of course, there's your crotch. You can never resist a good dig around in there, can you? It must just be itch. Is it like there are lots of tiny insects crawling around in your underpants?
Are you all right?
Sorry. Just a bit hot.
Hot?
I'll say. Burning more like.
Fire down below!
Sorry. I thought that was my mouth.
And where are you talking from now, Mr. Slatt?
Sorry, just need to pop out. Not feeling very well.
What on earth's going on?
What are you doing to me? You destroyed me in there.
What are you doing to Mr. Humboldt?
I don't think blackmailing someone on the basis of their sexuality is exactly pleasant, do you?
He wants to be in charge of school discipline, for God's sake.
I cannot believe you.
Believe what you like. I'm going back into that room and I'm going to explain what's happening here. I'm going to turn this around, Miss Travis.
Mr. Slatt?
Yes, hello again.
The other two have just popped next door to look through some of your files. You feeling better?
Yes, I am, actually. In fact, on that
Who
subject...
were you talking to out there?
Oh, nobody.
No, you were definitely talking to someone. Very good hearing, you know. Compensation.
Yes, right. I was just talking to the headmaster who's waiting out there for his interview.
Oh, could you ask him to step in here for a moment? You don't mind, do you? Your interview had ground to a bit of a halt.
He's just gone, actually.
No, he hasn't, I'd have heard.
Nope, he's definitely gone. I think he's just popped down to the prefect's common room to help out with the smoke experiment.
No, I'd have heard him go. I'm particularly good on footsteps.
Oh, look, there he is behind that pot plant. Hello, Mr. Nixon. Hello, Mr. Slatt. Just stepping in for a word. No, not at all.
And could you leave us for a moment, Mr. Slatt?
Of course.
That wasn't the head.
It was Slat.
Mr. Nixon, do you know the reason we're interviewing 2 people from this school?
No. In fact, I don't.
Because we're so impressed by your school's extraordinary commitment to music. Do you realize you have more children taking music at this school than anywhere else in the country?
Quite remarkable. And I understand Amanda Tripley is organising a European tour for your orchestra next year. I'm already arranging a ton of press coverage for that. But I think I know who's really behind all this. My old friend Robin Bonza.
A human dynamo. Such an enthusiast. You know, I'd really appreciate a chat with Robin while I'm here.
Well, I'm sure I can arrange that. In fact, I'll go and arrange it right now.
Gentlemen, this is Richard Nixon, who we'll be interviewing later.
Hello. Mr. Slat. Yes, I do look a bit like him, don't I? But I'll just pop and find your friend. Janet, would you bring that blind one to the music department? I'll go on ahead and make sure it's safe. I'll get Eric Slat to sort this out. He's so much better at this sort of thing than me.
But that was Eric Slat, surely.
Certainly smelt like him.
Bonza, where the hell is he?
Well, if you remember, you gave me his classes this morning.
He's absent. My one shot at not being a complete lunatic in front of the 3 people deciding my entire professional future and the bastards of sick, oh dear God.
In fact, he's not absent.
What?
He's not absent as such.
Fine, great, marvellous, get him.
No, please, just listen for once.
Oh, there you are. How nice to see you again. Janet, go away.
Why must you be so rude to your wife?
You wouldn't understand. You're blind. I sent for Robin, in fact, who'll be along in just a moment. Excuse me a moment, tiny little problem.
Mr. Slat?
I should warn that Robin has a bit of a cold, so the voice might not be quite as you remember. Oh, I think that's Robin now.
So long as she's still the same lovely girl I used to go out with.
Hello, darling.
Robin, how are you?
I'm fine, dear. How are you?
Mr. Slat says you have a cold. Your voice sounds exactly the same as ever.
You're so sweet. Well, I must be going.
Don't be silly, we've so much to catch up on. Mr. Slat, would you mind giving us a moment?
Why?
Please, Mr. Slat, it's been a long time.
Well, what exactly are you intending to do? There are laws in this country, you know.
Well, we're not going to do anything illegal, I can assure you of that. Now, please, allow us a moment.
Well, all right, but you know, just stay in control. Just don't get carried away.
Well, my darling, alone at last.
Yes, but I feel so strange.
You know, I was surprised to hear you were working in this place. That morning you left, you seemed so determined not to take the job. You said you were going to leave the country.
A girl can change her mind. It's her prerogative.
Have you changed your mind about me?
No, you're horrid.
I see.
So, how are the interviews going? Is Eric Slat as wonderful as I've always had?
Personally, I thought he was a raving lunatic. Why, do you think he should get the job?
Oh, so much. So much. He deserves it, you know.
Well, it's up to me, really. I tell you what, give me a big kiss. One like the old days, and I'll make sure he's the one we choose.
If I kiss you, you'll give Eric the job.
Why not? What the hell? You're worth screwing a few thousand kids' education for.
Just one kiss?
One proper kiss.
And Eric's a headmaster.
And he gets what he deserves.
This school he'll be going to has got a brand new science wing, hasn't it?
Yeah?
And practically no art department?
Just one part-time teacher. Why do you ask?
Just getting myself in the mood.
Gentlemen, this is my old girlfriend, Robin Bonzo.
Hello.
It's not, it's Eric Slatt.
What?
Just as it was upstairs when he told you that he was the headmaster.
Good God, what's going on here?
Right, well, listen, obviously you're entitled to an explanation, and fortunately, I can give you
Mr.
one.
Slatt, I think it's time I admitted in front of the entire school the true nature of my sexuality.
No, not now.
Well done, Mr. Humboldt. I'm proud of you.
I am sick of being blackmailed for what I am. I think it's unfair that I'm barred from being in charge of school discipline simply because of my sexual orientation. I am well over the age of consent, and it is no one's business but my own that I happen to be a practicing sadomasochist. What? As I explained when I attempted to take the school trip on the Rubber Pride March. It is a perfectly valid expression of your libido to want to bind, whip and humiliate other people.
No, it isn't. You sick
What the hell is going on in this place?
I quite agree. Have we completely lost our minds, fellow teachers? Children, I forbid you to take any notice of whatsoever.
There are children here? That man sounds to be in terrible pain. Is he all right?
No, I'm fine. She didn't hit me that hard. It's just my nipple clamps.
Right, I'm going to find Nixon. Apart from the fact he's the only candidate left for this job, presumably he's in charge of this madhouse.
Gentlemen, I'm sorry I've been delayed. I've just been having a bit of a chat with the prefects. Sometimes all these rave culture kids need is a jolly good chat.
Mr. Nixon, I cannot believe that a man with a record as long and distinguished as your own can be fully aware of some of the things that are going on in this school.
Hey, guy. Chill out.
So, when would I be likely to hear about the job?